친구들, 건더스예요.
Today I'm going to tell you about Gravitrax. Have you ever wondered why a ball rolls? When we place a ball on a high place, it rolls down smoothly, right? That's because of a force called gravity. Gravitrax is a super cool toy that lets you play using gravity and kinetic energy. In Gravitrax, the first thing you do is build a track. You can make a long winding path or a short but exciting jumping section. Where the ball rolls, how fast it goes, and where it jumps, you get to decide all of it. At first, your ball might stop in the middle. When that happens, try thinking, was the slope here too gentle? Maybe the ball needs more speed to jump? You try different things, and little by little you complete your track. Even Gunyul had to fix his track several times because the ball didn't roll properly at first. But he didn't give up. He kept trying and eventually made cooler and cooler tracks. You'll understand more as you play. Gravity pulls the ball downward, and kinetic energy is what makes the ball move. And if you place a magnet on the track, the ball might suddenly get pulled in and speed up. That's thanks to magnetism. Gravitrax isn't just for fun. It helps you feel scientific principles naturally, just like Gunyul did. Another cool thing, even on the same track, where the ball starts changes the result. If it starts from a higher place, the ball rolls faster and farther. If it starts from a lower spot, it might stop quickly. Why is that? Because the higher the ball starts, the more potential energy it has. That energy turns into kinetic energy and makes the ball go faster. Gunyul also realized this when his ball stopped after starting from a low point. He said, I need to start from a higher place, and figured it out himself. Learning by doing, it's really important. What kind of track do you want to build? A high jump? A speedy loop? Or maybe a crash with multiple balls? Gravitrax has action parts like jumps, splash pads, and cannons. Use them well, and you can build exciting, complex tracks. Gunyul especially loves the jump actions. He laughs with joy every time the ball flies over a gap. But what if your ball goes too fast and flies off the track? In that case, you can adjust the slope or add obstacles to slow it down. The important thing is, it's okay to fail. Failure gives us hints for making even better tracks. Gravitrax is fun to play alone, but it's even more fun with friends. How can we make the ball fly farther? What happens if we roll two balls at the same time? Sharing ideas, experimenting, and succeeding together, that joy is truly the best. Gunyul made tracks with his friends, came up with better ideas, and laughed and played together. It's a different kind of fun than playing alone. Have you ever dreamed of designing your own roller coaster? Gravitrax lets you make that dream come true, even if just a little. When the ball smoothly zips along the track you made, it feels like you've created your own mini coaster. And here's another cool thing. Gravitrax can keep expanding. Even if you start with a small set, you can add new parts later to build longer, more complex, and cooler tracks. Your own endless world of imagination, your Gravitrax world, opens up. Let's review what we learned today. Gravity pulls the ball downward. Kinetic energy makes the ball move. Magnets can speed up the ball. It's okay to fail. Failure is just a hint for improvement. You can grow both your imagination and your scientific thinking. From now on, Gunyul will keep building new adventures with Gravitrax. When the first ball rolls down the track, his imagination will roll with it too. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time for another adventure.
Hello, everyone. Today, let's dive into a fascinating learning activity using a toy called Gravitrax, a science play kit that helps us explore gravity, energy, and other physics concepts in a fun and hands-on way. From the materials I received, the core of this activity seems to be all about building your own track, deciding where the ball goes, how fast it rolls, and where it jumps. It's a creative process, and kids get to design every part of it themselves. There's also a story about a kid named Gunyul. At first, his ball kept stopping or not behaving the way he expected, but instead of giving up, he kept tweaking the track, asking, why isn't it working? That process of thinking and adjusting is actually a very meaningful learning experience. Now let's take a closer look at the science behind it. The most basic force involved is gravity. Gravity pulls the ball downward. As the ball moves, it gains kinetic energy, the energy of motion. But here's the really interesting part. the concept of potential energy, especially how it relates to starting height. The higher the ball starts, the more potential energy it has. And as it starts moving, that potential energy turns into kinetic energy, making the ball roll faster and farther. Gunyul learned that too. When he started the ball from a lower point, it didn't go far. But after raising the height, he realized, oh, height really matters. Learning by doing, feeling the concept with your hands, is much more powerful than just listening to explanations. That's what makes this toy special. Another important lesson: failure is okay. Actually, it's more than okay. It's helpful. When something doesn't work, like the slope being too shallow or the ball not jumping right, kids are encouraged to think about why and come up with solutions. That problem-solving process is the learning. As the material says, failure isn't just failure, it's a hint to help build a better track. That metaphor really stuck with me. Now, beyond the basics, there's another concept in play: magnetism. Some of the pieces contain magnets, so when the ball passes by, it might suddenly speed up or get pulled in a new direction. Kids may not know the word magnetism, but they feel it as they play. Why did it go faster all of a sudden? Why did it stick to that part? Without even realizing it, they're engaging with an invisible force, and that's learning at its most natural. There are also action parts like jumps, splash zones, and cannons. These allow for endless creativity. The materials said Gunyul especially loved the jump feature. It was exciting for him to see the ball fly through the air. And because you can mix and match the parts however you want, kids get to build exactly what they imagine. That freedom and creative control is a huge part of the experience. Of course, building alone can be fun too, focusing deeply and following your own ideas. But when kids work together, it becomes a chance to share ideas, solve problems as a team, and develop collaboration skills naturally. So, if we had to summarize the key takeaways from today, Gravitrax helps kids understand gravity, kinetic energy, potential energy, and magnetism, not by memorizing, but by playing, building, and experimenting. It's not about delivering facts. It's about encouraging curiosity, learning through failure, and trying things out freely. That's what sparks creativity and builds real problem-solving skills. In a way, it turns every child into a mini engineer. And one more thing, this system is expandable. You can start with a basic set and keep adding on, making your tracks more complex and unique. It grows along with your imagination, letting you build your own Gravitrax world. Finally, this all leads to a bigger question. If something as simple as gravity can produce such complex and creative outcomes through design and imagination, what about the world around us? Maybe our world works the same way, with simple rules overlapping and combining into something beautifully complex. So next time you play or even just walk through your day, try noticing the hidden principles all around you. You might be surprised how fun it is to discover them.
건율TV 구독과 좋아요 눌러주세요.
안녕.
안녕.